The film begins in 55 AD in Cappadocia, where an old man known as Saint Maias is paraded by a group of people who eventually punish him by stoning. As Maias becomes helpless and unable to move, one man steps forward, picks up a large stone, and strikes him on the head until the saint is dead. Centuries later, in 129 AD, Christianity has become the dominant religion across Europe, and the Crusades are underway to reclaim the city of Jerusalem. At the same time, the Normans, loyal to King John of England, are engaged in a conquest of Ireland. Deep within the remote interior of Ireland lies a small monastery that guards a sacred and powerful relic. Shifting to the present moment, the story introduces a young monk named Diarmuid and a mysterious man who was once found stranded on the beach and has remained mute ever since. Because he never spoke from the moment he was discovered, Diarmuid and the other monks came to refer to him simply as the Mute. Over time, he has not only become Diarmuid's trusted friend, but also the monastery's silent protector. One day, while Diarmuid and the Mute are on a hill not far from the monastery, they notice 3 horsemen approaching. Reacting swiftly, Diarmuid rushes down the hill to inform the other monks that knights have arrived. The group is led by a French Cistercian monk named Frere Giraldus, who is granted an audience with the abbot and explains that he has been sent as an envoy of Pope Innocent III in Rome. His mission is to transport the holy relic kept at the monastery back to the heart of the church. Upon hearing this, the abbot agrees, acknowledging the legendary power of the relic, which is said to destroy unbelievers and unleash divine wrath upon the enemies of God, ensuring victory in the Crusades.
Brother Giraldus, you do not know what you ask.
Discretion was of the utmost importance.
We received no word.
Most no distance, Father Abbot.
Soon after, Giraldus, assisted by several monks, retrieves a golden chest containing the relic from a pit near the monastery. The abbot then assigns 5 monks, Diarmuid, the Mute, Kieran, Cathal, and Rua, to accompany Giraldus on this sacred journey to Rome. Without delay, the group loads the relic onto a cart and begins their pilgrimage, led by Giraldus.
Go with God.
As they travel across open grasslands, dark clouds gather and the sky becomes ominous. Suddenly, the cart carrying the relic becomes immovable, as if the artifact itself weighs more than it should. The monks struggle to push the cart when a bolt of lightning strikes the golden chest, causing a brief panic as flames erupt. Once the fire is extinguished, Kieran attempts to touch the chest, but recoils in pain, finding its surface burning hot. As rain begins to fall, the group continues on their journey and seeks shelter. That night, they rest around a campfire, and Giraldus recounts the legend of the Vikings who once tried to steal the relic, drawn by its divine power. In that tale, the Vikings had launched a surprise attack on the monastery, slaughtering the sleeping monks and seizing the relic. But as the remaining monks fled the church, they witnessed an angel carrying the relic, and shortly after, a violent storm dragged all Viking ships into the sea. When the storm cleared, the monks found 3 Viking corpses, their bodies scorched, as only those with pure hearts could touch the relic.
And before the lightning, they would not go near it.
It's a fine gold box to keep it in, and by a strange sound, and to those who disturb the relic. Lucky ones would have died in their beds. Move it.
Enlighten me.
Striking the relic as if it were a bell.
Upon hearing this, Kieran reflects on the burn on his hand and begins to question the purity of his own heart. The following morning, Diarmuid accidentally witnesses the Mute doing something unfamiliar and notices a large cross tattoo on his back, partly obscured by scars. As the sun rises, Giraldus leads the monks forward, and they eventually reach a small river. Feeling thirsty, Giraldus steps toward the river to drink, but the monks warn him that the waters are believed to be inhabited by fairy creatures and laced with dangerous magic. Dismissing this as mere superstition, Giraldus purifies the water with a prayer before drinking from it.
Out at night to play among those rocks.
You would run from a mere skirmish.
It runs through there.
Hurry here. We are soldiers of Christ.
I scatter the demons that have taken.
Their journey continues until they enter a forest where they encounter Roman allied soldiers. Learning of Giraldus' mission, the soldiers, led by Raymond de Merville, the son of a king, agree to escort them to the camp of his father, King Baron de Merville.
J'en parlerai avec votre père.
Choisissent de revenir du territoire gaélique.
Pourtant le jour que j'avais choisi pour revenir.
Vous souhaitez rencontrer mon père?
Along the way, they come across the carcass of a fox impaled on a tree, marked with the symbol of the Ua Mora tribe, a once pious people who turned to idol worship after their prayers for battlefield victory went unanswered. At the same time, Raymond's men spot fish thieves across the river and shoot arrows, capturing one of them. In a brutal act, they cut off the thief's hand. During this encounter, Raymond recognizes the mute from the Crusades.
Some of my men think that they know you. On crusade, was it? Perhaps you might settle the matter.
Not a monk, my lord. He's a converso.
He cannot speak.
Bit his tongue, did he? Dites-moi. Un homme sans voix, comment peut-il confesser ses péchés?
Nous prions pour lui.
Quelle chance d'avoir des amis qui répondent de vous sur la foi seule.
Eventually, the group reaches the royal camp and meets Baron, who is known for his unwavering devotion to God. Curious about the relic, Baron requests to see it, and Giraldus agrees. Upon opening the golden chest, they reveal a simple stone, the very same one used thousands of years ago to kill Saint Maes.
He was martyred. Broke his bones and spilled his blood. Matthias was elevated to heaven.
The next day, Giraldus and his companions resume their journey, escorted by Raymond's soldiers. However, upon reaching the riverbank, they find the bridge destroyed by members of the Ua Mora tribe. Raymond and some of his men set off to pursue the culprits, while Giraldus and the rest proceed through the forest, now in hostile territory. Suddenly, they are ambushed by the tribe. In the ensuing chaos, Raymond's guards are cut down by arrows and sword strikes. The mute takes up a weapon and fiercely defends the group, even going so far as to brutally kill one of the attackers with a shield. His ferocity causes the remaining tribe members to retreat. However, one of them manages to steal the cart carrying the relic after knocking Kieran unconscious. Diarmuid gives chase, but the mute, still consumed by rage, attacks indiscriminately until Diarmuid manages to calm him down. In the aftermath, Giraldus, Diarmuid, the mute, and the surviving monk Cathal resolve to recover the relic and rescue Kieran.
Work is not yet done. Go forth with an untroubled heart and slew many kings.
Giraldus gives the mute a sword, and they begin tracking the stolen cart. Eventually, they locate the Ua Mora settlement, and, seeing the enemy's numbers, hide and wait for nightfall.
This was the oath we took.
I will carry the relic. We do not need the reliquary.
As darkness descends, the group sneaks into the camp to find Kieran, who is tied up. Realizing their presence, Kieran warns them to leave, revealing that he had thrown the relic away before being captured. Suddenly, they are forced to hide again as Raymond and his soldiers arrive to meet with the tribe's leader. In the ensuing conversation, it is revealed that Raymond has been collaborating with the tribe to obtain the relic. He desires the stone, while the tribe seeks the golden chest. But when they open the chest, it is empty. Enraged, Raymond tortures Kieran to extract the location of the relic. Kieran refuses to speak, prompting Raymond to kill him brutally by twisting a blade into his abdomen, spilling his intestines.
I'm a man of the cloth. In Constantinople, I never saw it fail. I'd like to see them. C'est the relic. Il veut être un martyr. Pardonne.
Darmuid and the others, horrified by the gruesome scene, flee and return to the site of the ambush to search for the relic Kieran had thrown. Using torches, they eventually locate the stone and escape before Raymond's soldiers catch them. The next day, while resting, Cathal begins to despair, fearing he will not survive Raymond's pursuit. As the sound of trumpets from Raymond's approaching troops grows louder, the group flees to a fog-covered hill and hides in a swamp. Though the terrain is treacherous, they press on. At one point, Raymond attempts to provoke Geraldus by shouting into the fog, which nearly gives away their position. However, Geraldus evades the ambush and regroups with the others. In desperation, Diarmuid holds the relic and steps into the swamp, and miraculously they encounter two boatmen. Geraldus pays them to ferry the group downriver, eventually reaching the sea.
Qatar Vonnegut!
But since the tide is out, they must wait until night to depart. Unfortunately, Raymond's horsemen arrive before they can leave. In a final act of sacrifice, Geraldus begs the mute to hold off the enemy so the others can escape. He promises that if the mute succeeds, his sins from the Crusades will be forgiven. Seeking redemption, the mute confronts Raymond and his men alone. While Geraldus and the others attempt to launch their boat, Raymond's men shoot arrows, killing one of the boatmen. On the shore, the mute fights off Raymond's soldiers with his crusader skills. Eventually, Raymond steps in, and though he gains the upper hand and stabs the mute retaliates by biting Raymond's neck, leading to both their deaths. In the final moments, Cathal, wounded by an arrow, dies and falls into the sea. Geraldus, realizing the relic only brings more violence, decides to drown the holy stone, but in the process, he too sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Afterward, the remaining boatman asks Diarmuid where they should go, but Diarmuid remains silent. And so, the film comes to an end. Behind the story of disguise, betrayal, and a quest for vengeance, this film reminds us that true justice does not always come from a law, but from the courage of an individual who dares to stand up and defend what is right. Even in a world filled with deceit and violence, someone who stays true to their principles and is willing to take risks to protect the innocent can still be a light in the darkness. In the end, the truth will always find its way, no matter how dangerous the path may be.